It's another episode of Paranormal, and we are your hosts. I am Rachel, and
I am Kaz.
Again,
I couldn't think of anything like witty to say for that one.
I know.
So
I feel like we haven't recorded in forever.
I know, because it's been
episodes in 1 week.
Yeah.
Long weekend. We needed a break.
We did, but I was discombobulated because I'm like, are we recording tonight? And you're like, we've got like a backlog, so we need a bit of a break.
We had a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
A vacation. Yeah. So yeah, well, not much news going on in our world. We just did an investigation at the Lindhouse Museum with the Paranormal Seekers.
That was amazing.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago now, so about a week ago, once this airs. So that was pretty fun, very interesting. Fairly
it was
active.
way more active than I thought, to be honest with you. I didn't actually know what the Lindhouse was, so I was very pleasantly surprised when I walked in there. And then when it just basically started the moment we walked in, I was like, okay, here we go then.
I know. And I wasn't even recording anything at that time. I literally just had stuff in my hand. That's it.
I think, what do I think? I don't remember what I was about to say. It's interesting when places corral us into like one area. I felt like it kept making us go back to that one bedroom.
Yeah. And the upper one. But you know what? Maybe we'll do an episode on it.
100% we have to, because we've got a few like, what is that moments from our
there was a lot of them, what is that moments.
Yeah, so we can even maybe go through some of that footage and see if we can figure out what it is. So stay tuned.
That'll be a future one in the summer. And then this Friday, so 2 days before this airs, or the day it airs, I don't know, sometime, whatever. We are going to Lang's for our first public event of this year.
I'm very excited. I'm also like really, really hoping we get to go in my favorite place.
I haven't heard otherwise. So
good.
Might be, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Go. I think I think for the team, like group wise, I think I'm in the hotel last. You're in it second last, so it's gonna be dark when we get in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
So so that should be fun. But But speaking of ghosts,
yes. What the hell are they?
Yeah, that's today's topic. Define ghosts.
Yeah. Cricket.
I know. Well, it's so funny because, it's funny, but every paranormal investigator, every person who delves into this subject always has a different explanation or different definition that they've kind of come up with throughout their years or throughout their experiences as to what a ghost is, right? So it's really not, I guess there's really not a definitive answer as to what this ectoplasmic goo that's in the shape of a person.
Sometimes.
Actually is.
And so, like, I think one of the interesting things is when we do start connecting with ghosts, spirits, whatever, they don't even have a explanation. I don't think there's ever been a time anyone ever has, started communicating with a ghost and they've been like, so what are you? Like, what happens? And they're like, well, let me tell you exactly what happens. Nothing. They're just like, well, you'll find out. And you're like, what?
Gives a whole new term to fuck around and find out.
Exactly.
There's plenty of times we've done that and found out.
Yeah.
But no, like for our team, like we define a ghost as someone who has died, usually rather suddenly, quickly. So like accident, sickness, murder, that kind of stuff. And they don't really quite know that they're dead. So they're doing everything they can to get noticed, to get their story out, and all that kind of stuff. And then we define a spirit as someone who has died, crossed over to the other side, and comes back to visit, favorite people, places, things. So we kind of do try to differentiate between the two, because there is, when you do investigations, there is quite a difference between a haunting with a ghost and a haunting with a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it almost feels like to me that a spirit is more intelligent, like you'll get more answers to validate your questions and your research with a spirit than you would a ghost, if that makes sense.
Yeah, to be honest, before I even joined this group, I kind of just used them interchangeably. I never even really thought there was much of a difference. I thought it was whatever, like, ghost to me is more a European term, an English term, where spirits is more like an American, Canadian term. That's how,
a Western
yeah,
term.
yeah. So it's kind of like cemetery and graveyard. Like in England, it's mostly we say graveyard. I mean, I know there's a distinct difference, but here mostly everyone just says cemetery and
Yeah.
it's all like interchangeably used. So I just assumed it was sort of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I
So
don't
it
know.
wasn't until I joined the group that you guys started to break it down and I was like, oh, I have been using them wrong.
Oh, well, whatever. But like, I've started to referring, if I don't know if it's a ghost or a spirit, I will just refer it to as an energy or an entity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though entity has a negative connotation to it, because
Yes, it
people,
does.
right? As soon as you say entity, you're like, ooh, negative, demon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. To me, an entity is something that was never really human and it's just
Yeah.
this energy form. But
Yeah. So it's interesting. And then like there's so many different, like I have a bunch of research. I'm gonna read some research
Mhm.
about different types of, what is it? The different types of ghosts and their haunting characteristics.
Oh,
Somebody put this together, man. What do they have? They've got 14 different, I guess, genres of
oh
dead
my
people.
gosh.
And you know what's really funny? I was reading it and I was like, shit, this makes a lot of sense. I'm
Well,
like,
let's hear him because I didn't realize there was like more than one, and now you're like, there's
I didn't either
14
until
dead
I
people
googled
pronouns.
I
Jesus
googled
Christ.
different, because when we do presentations, we kind of talk about like a whole like range. Like we have, ghosts, spirits, poltergeists, residual, orbs, all that kind of stuff to give people kind of a definition or idea of what we might be talking about. And that's
Mm-hmm.
how we describe things. Like this person put together, like, Jesus, like, get ready, buckle up, get your
I'm
notepad.
I'm I'm like ready. I got my blanket. Wait, I got my little ghost pillow. Okay, go.
My God. The fuck I get into this. All right, so number one on this list of different types of ghosts and their haunting characteristics are residual ghosts. Now, for us, a residual ghost is a playback of a past event.
Mm-hmm.
Best way to explain it is put a tape in your VCR, because we're that old,
Yeah.
um, and
Jesus
hit play
Christ.
and watch the
Mm-hmm.
first 10 minutes and stop, rewind it, and hit play again and watch those 10 minutes again, right? Back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they pretty much don't interact with human, like, investigators or people living in their house or whatever, because it's residual energy. It's just like an imprint. So it's an imprint on tape, really, technically.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much what it says is that like this is where you see ghosts walking through walls, ghosts walking up the steps at the same time every night. You hear the same noises. You might be sitting in your living room and hear somebody in the kitchen for a good 5 minutes, and then it stops. And then you're sitting in your living room the next night and you hear the same sounds at the exact same time. So it's pretty much, I just, wow. Living ghosts? It says living ghosts may cause residual hauntings. What the fuck is a living
A
ghost?
living ghost. That's
But
like a
this is really funny
contradiction.
because when I was reading this, like, it says, all right, so a lot of the times extreme emotional energy or trauma can be recorded. So that's your energy output in an environment that can also come up as a residual. Negative energy can be residual. It doesn't necessarily mean it's an actual ghost. It's just
Mm-hmm.
residual. Um, So it says residual hauntings involve unconscious beings. So a lot of the time too, it says you've probably heard ghost stories with party noises, which literally happened in my grandparents' house all the time. They kept saying, they kept hearing like there was a bunch of people partying in their basement. They used to have parties down there a lot when they were younger. So like even though they hear singing, dancing, laughter, music, nobody is there when they enter the room, which is exactly what my grandparents experienced. It says residual hauntings may also involve shadowy figures. So yeah, like I said, it says these apparitions don't recognize humans and follow a pattern. So signs of a residual ghost. Repetitive noises, including footsteps, doors opening and closing, and music.
Nice.
So looping appearances. So seeing a ghost always appearing and acting the same way. Consistent odors. Finding odors unrelated to food, smoking, or perfume. And seeing a spectral person that just doesn't respond to anything around it. So environmental changes or living beings or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it says historical correlation occurs when observed phenomenon match significant past events related at the location. So again, Gettysburg is a good example.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that is a residual ghost. 2 is intelligent and interactive ghosts.
Okay.
Those are the ones we look for. Well, we look for all the ghosts, but these are the ones that we really, really look for. Like this past weekend, when you asked for it to ding the box and it just did it right away.
Oh my gosh. So many times.
Or,
I don't think we've ever had a spirit or ghost or whatever they're prone to interact that much with the thing on command.
Wildwood, though, I will admit, when we were there last time, we are like, "Can you make the music box?" And then, if you want us to leave, and we respected that answer and went downstairs.
That is very true.
So
but this was like so much.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that on another thing.
So intelligent and interactive ghosts can converse with the living, and they are aware of what is around them. They may make noises as appears apparitions. They may control items, so moving them, or answer questions, which we like.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there's a lot. There's a lot of information on this. But anyways, we'll go to the key characteristics.
Yeah.
Apparently, intelligent ghosts have thoughts and goals.
All right.
They use their senses and they can engage with animals. They can talk to people, so contact can be made through EVPs, mediumship, ghost box. They may respond to what's going on around them and the environment. So they can make noise, they can move things, and other signs of awareness. A persistent presence is common. They do act differently, so they're not all the same. Some are there to be nice, some are there to be, a pain in the ass. Yeah, all that kind of fun stuff. And it says here, intelligent hauntings are identified by paranormal investigators using spirit communication devices, EVP sessions, and historical research. Sounds like they wrote an article about it.
I was going to say, based on the great group, the Paranormal Seekers.
Yeah. All right. And the next on the list is Poltergeist.
Yep.
The movie didn't really do it justice.
No kidding. Jesus.
That's not a poltergeist. That's just some... Don't be digging in Indian burial grounds. That's the problem.
Yeah. Exactly. Or talking to any creepy ass old men that are like, "Have you lost, little girl?" Oh, whatever.
Oh my gosh. And I don't really think I've ever seen a ghost come out of a TV, though. The white noise. White noise.
Yeah. Or where the guy's braces come out and cocoon him up into the thing. Remember that? I think that was Poltergeist 2. I think.
I can't even remember at this point.
So Carol's brother, he was in the bathroom. I'm sure it was his second brother, and he was like flossing, and then his he had braces on, and then metal started to come out of his mouth, and then
Gross.
cocooned him up into the ceiling. Yeah,
Why?
pretty sure that's not a poltergeist.
Ghosts don't give a shit about your teeth.
No.
Half of them
Or
don't even have any.
how do they make the wires grow more?
I don't know either.
I hope that's on the list. What number is that?
So poltergeists are often referred to as noisy ghosts because, well, they're friggin' noisy.
They're the frat bros of the spirit world.
Yeah. So they make loud noises, they slam doors, they knock, they move objects, they can move furniture, all that kind of stuff. According to a lot of people, and then for us as well, this is what we kind of put together too, is that poltergeists are apparitions of psychic energy from living individuals. So if you output a lot of energy, it kind of manifests. So if you output a lot of like positive energy, you can manifest one of these nice poltergeists that, will do, funny things or, make, your life a little annoying and all that kind of stuff. But if you put out a lot of negative energy, you can make the ones that set fire to your shit.
Oh. Do you think if you put out nice energy, they can like help you move the couch and shit when you need to?
That would be that would
Wouldn't
be
that
good.
be amazing?
That would be great. Like maybe clean my house while I'm at work. I don't know.
Yeah.
God.
That'd be amazing.
So there's just really not much known about poltergeist because again, it's just energy. But see, I think that I've kind of put together over the years that is once you give it an identity, that's a whole new game. You just you just gave it something that nope, that's just yeah. But a lot of it they say is because it's and this is where the Poltergeist movie didn't really click in, I guess. I don't know. That it's usually in a household where you have a teenage girl. Because
it's drama.
They're just demons all on their own.
Exactly. They are quite the little bundles of energy. And not in a good way.
Aren't they great? But yeah, so like, what's a poltergeist really? More questions. All right. Next on the list is we have shadow people.
Ooh.
And the first line of this is shadow people or shadow men who skulk in corners or out of sight because we don't comprehend them.
Oh, okay.
Some think these dark shadows are aliens, time travelers, or interdimensional entities, while others think they are deeper shaped ghosts.
Okay, that explained everything. Oh my God.
And then followed by shadow people may be evil.
Oh, wow. That's quite the statement.
So yeah, I don't know. Shadow people, we've come into contact like with a lot of shadow people, like in our videos, like when we capture stuff. I don't think we've ever really, I don't know, I've never really felt anything negative about a shadow person. I just feel like they just can't form properly.
I feel like that's kind of what we captured on the chair at Lindhouse. Because that's essentially what that is. But yeah, like maybe they just couldn't form and you're just getting a glimpse of it. Or maybe how technology is not fast enough to capture. I don't know.
So it says in here, it says, be calm if you see dark shadows.
Oh, okay.
Maybe shadows in the room's corner. Night terrors occur when you feel horrible and see murky images at night. Being still is crucial. They're scary, but safe.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
And then it says, wiggle your tiny finger or toe to break paralysis quickly. What the fuck?
Well, okay, yeah. What are we, Kill Bill here, where she's like, move your toe or whatever. If you've got sleep paralysis, you won't. Whatever. It's so ridiculous.
I'm just finding all the great
Wiggle
stuff
your
that comes
toe
of it
at
too.
them.
But yeah, the shadow
Jesus.
people. Shadow people. And next we
Mm-hmm.
have apparitions. Spirits. So the definition of an apparition, apparently, is spirits that are full-bodied and resemble living or deceased individuals.
Well, why would they resemble living?
That's a doppelganger. We'll get into that later
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
So they might dress in a particular way or show signs of injury, much like they did in real life. For instance, Anne Boleyn in the Tower of London or the Grey Lady at Glamis Castle are considered to be apparitions.
Mm.
So they're frequently connected to particular places or significant events in their lives or deaths. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just an apparition, which really to me is just a ghost.
Exactly. It's just they've manifested enough that you can see them as a full person.
And then next after that is crisis apparitions.
Oh. Okay.
So these are the ghosts. See, they're interchanging words here. Pardon me, that visit loved ones during extreme grief, or death. They may appear and disappear or send messages.
Huh.
Yeah, they considered a final warning or goodbye.
Mm.
There's a lot of crap on here about it. It says there was one crisis apparition case, so let's give you a little example. A vacationing girl worried about a friend who hadn't returned to their youth hostel. So this person headed out that morning to climb a mountain, and a man appeared before her in a different form. I don't know. I don't know who wrote this, but this is crap. Pretty much this man appeared to have died in this area. And then, yeah. So this guy went to go hiking. I know, I just totally fucked that up. The guy went to go hiking. He went up hiking. He saw this apparition of a man. And then this man actually had just previously died, and I guess they found his body the next day on the mountain. So he was kind of coming for help, I guess. I don't fucking know.
All right, then.
So, yeah. I don't know. That's just crisis apparitions. They just appear during a crisis.
Dun, dun, dun.
And now we go to doppelgangers.
Mm.
So ghostly replicas or duplicates of actual individuals are often seen as omens of death or bad luck.
Shit. Is this different from a regular doppelganger? Is this if they're okay?
I didn't know there was a regular just a doppelganger.
Well, I always thought a doppelganger was just your exact image, like someone else, like your twin, basically out there in the world.
Yeah,
but this is the ghostly one.
Ghostly ones are omens.
Yikes!
It says so. According to both English and German customs, seeing your own duplicate 3 times could be a sign that you're about to die.
Or you're really high and you have a twin. You're like, holy shit, I'm over there.
Oh my God. But it's true. And during one of our investigations, we actually had a doppelganger. Like, this is years ago, of one of a previous investigator. We were at the Lindsay Academy Theater, and we were all up on the stage, and we saw him walk by, and we called his name, and he didn't even pay attention or say anything. And then we found out he wasn't even upstairs. He was in the basement.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then the next on the list are wraiths, whatever you want to call them. Now, I don't even know how this isn't even a ghost, but it is a beast that appears at night.
Okay.
Yeah. And they are said to exude power, and sadness.
Oh, so like a
And
teenage girl or just a teenager in general. They always show up at night, lurking in the shadows, get snacks, and they're all like, "Oh my god, don't talk to me."
some emo kid.
Yeah,
But apparently this is a more of a Scottish kind of spirit. It is said to be a Scottish spirit that practiced black magic and sorcery.
sure.
So apparently they are soulless and only sense hatred and sadness. I don't
Wow.
know. Like, apparently they can also be demons. Didn't know
For
that.
God's sakes.
Yeah. Apparently there are various types of wraths. Most wraths are wicked soul stealers.
Oh, yikes.
A
Wicked
single touch
soul.
kills and steals a person's soul. Wow. Glad we've never come into contact with them.
Kidding. Not going to
Only a
Scotland
holy
anytime
presence,
soon.
a holy presence, or a weapon can defeat them.
Yeah, a gun pretty much will do that.
My God. Uh,
Oh,
this
Lord.
is just like, yeah, it's funny. And next on the list is banshees.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. I've got like all these alerts popping up on my phone all of a sudden.
Okay. It says most people think of a banshee as a hovering ethereal apparition, howling and terrifying. You may also know that banshees bring death.
Hmm.
It is an
Now,
Irish folklore.
I was going to say, do we have banshees here? I know that they're like, what was that? It's a banshee.
Was that you, Jay?
It was a
Was a
banshee.
banshee?
Jesus Christ. Anyways, do.
Something dropped. Whatever. So,
That's funny.
banshees are disembodied spirits that could take the following forms: a beautiful woman in a veil, a pale
Oh.
woman in a white outfit with long red hair,
Ooh.
a woman with long silver hair and clothes.
And clothes.
I think it meant silver
Any clothes?
clothes. Silver
Oh,
clothes.
I was like, okay, just random clothes.
Yeah. Well, this one's even better. A headless woman with a dish of blood and naked from the waist up.
Oh, of course. That's Hollywood bullshit. It's always
Yeah.
gonna have our tits out.
Well, then it just gets even better. An ancient
Okay.
woman with scary red eyes, green clothes, and long white hair.
An ancient woman.
Followed by an elderly black clad woman with long gray hair and a veil.
I thought banshees were like the old Haggerty witch looking thing on a broom squealing around.
No, they're depicted as female spirits with long hair who cry at night.
I think that's the menopausal woman. Okay. Like, relax.
Or some ladies in Oshawa.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
so according to historians, the first Banshee legend began in the 8th century, 8, the single number, when ladies
Mm-hmm.
sang a sad song to mourn a death. Since these ladies accepted wine as payment,
So
they were
yes, people from
considered
Oshawa.
sinners and doomed to become banshees.
Oh.
The banshees disappear into a cloud of mist if they're discovered making a sound like a bird flapping its wings. Legend has it that banshees warn of death, not inflict it.
Oh.
So next time you hear a lady crying, do not pay her in wine.
Yeah, don't give her any booze. It's probably why she's crying in the first place. You've had too much wine.
That's historians. That's historians. Now, according to an Irish legend, the banshee is a ghost of a young girl who was brutally murdered and warns her family of impending death.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, no banshees for us.
Mm-mm.
I may have long hair, but I'm not wearing a veil, and I am not naked from the waist up. So,
Thank goodness.
fuck. Oh my god, that's what we should go for
That's
Halloween.
next
We'll
week's
just go as
episode.
banshees. We'll just go as banshees. We'll just wear skin colored.
Yeah, give me wine there. That's my song.
Listen, if you give people enough wine, they just think they can sing anyway. So
exactly.
karaoke has never sounded better. Well, next on the list is revenants. Or revenant. I don't know. The legend of revenant ghosts struck terror in villagers, particularly during the Middle Ages.
Mm.
So they're corporal ghosts and not demons. The very name revenant goes back to an old French for the word returning.
Oh.
But like zombies and vampires, the dead body remains. Yeah, I know. Making them different from ghosts, which are usually made of plasma. We're getting technical here. I know.
Yes, apparently.
So these ghosts, these revenant ghosts, were blamed for spreading diseases and being capable of murder.
Oh.
Yes, so they are said to come from people who had evil souls or who had done wicked deeds when alive. And like most ghosts, they come back to life due to feeling like they have unfinished business. However, they're not trying to right wrongs or finish a task. They've returned to continue their never-ending mission of tormenting those they hated.
All right. I can get down with these people now.
I know. Ew. It says revenant ghosts can eat their victims or drain their blood. When did we get into Hannibal Lecter here? Like,
I know. This just does not sound ghostly at all.
They eat people out of rage and revenge.
Okay.
This is getting good.
I think this is like ghosts on bath salts. That's all I can think. I don't think these are actually ghosts. I think these are just people from Oshawa.
I was just going to say, I'm going to start calling the lovely people of downtown Oshawa revenants.
Yes. That's not what they are.
So they're frequently compared to vampires. Because both may feed on the blood of their victims.
Yeah, I think we'll just skip that one.
Some revenants eat the flesh instead. Didn't they make a movie called Revenant?
Yes, or isn't it?
I don't know.
Or is that is that a video game? Resident Evil?
Yeah, that's zombies though.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what this sounds like. Yeah, we'll just cross that one off the list.
Yeah.
I'm not going to any place to investigate that's got things like a reverend eating someone. I might draw the line there.
Oh my god. Well, next we have lady spirits in color.
Okay, now they're just running out of things to say. They're like, shit, I got
this
a title of a book.
Makes a lot of sense.
Oh god, here we go. All right.
So female spirits are commonly color coded, which is true. The ladies kind of get a color, specifically their dress color.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we've got gray ladies. So many accounts show gray clad women. There's tons of gray lady stories. So there's Willard's Library's Lady in Gray. They say that she may be the library's founder, his daughter. You've got the veiled gray lady at the Tower of London. You've got the gray lady of Glamis Castle's chapel. All of these gray ladies. Surprise. Next, you have your lady in white, which is very, very common.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and it literally says here, white lady ghosts are also common. You've got a white lady who likely slipped on the steps and died that haunts the Queen Mary. You've got the white lady of the St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida who only appears during storms. So many different white ladies. Now, my idea of a white lady is, if you notice a lot of them, these white lady apparitions, ghosts, whatever you want to call them, are usually women who have died right before their wedding, during their wedding, after their wedding. Maybe they're just in their wedding dresses or their nightgowns.
Yes, either or. A lot of their back in the day thing, even under their dresses, was like this white
Yeah.
kind of pinafore, whatever they're called. But to be honest with you, wear your wedding dress, ladies, because I've never been married, but I know a lot of people who have, and dresses are really expensive. So why not wear it one last time? Get the use out of the dress. That's what I have to say.
Hey,
Get your money's
who says,
worth.
who
Put
says,
it
and
on.
a lot of them used to be buried in their wedding dresses, regardless of when they
Well,
died.
there you go.
And they just stuck wearing that for the rest of their ghostly existence. Anyways, then we have the women in black. So a Tower of London has a woman in black. So there's one at Vicarage.
Yep.
And usually, see, you could probably say it. I can't. Usually, when you see a woman in black, it's because she's in her mourning attire. Mourning, as in someone died. Mourning, not it's morning.
I woke up. I'll put black on first thing in the morning.
Well, that's what we do. Like, look at you're wearing black. I'm wearing black. It's the first thing I put on this morning. And then we have blue ladies. So lots of lady spirits have seen wearing blue tints. So we have the lady in blue at Jester's Court, which we'll talk about in a few weeks. There is the spirit of a woman in blue who is said to have died during childbirth. In Nashville, the Nashville Indiana Story Inn. So the Indiana Story Inn in Nashville, I should say, is haunted by a blue lady. She is likely Dr. George Story's wife, and that man created the town. So yeah, so there's that. What else do we have? Oh, we have the Green Lady of Chateau de Brissac. And that's in France. I can't speak French. So don't even, So it says France has a green lady. She may be Charlotte de Brézé's ghost haunting Chateau de Brissac. So Charlotte's husband caught her having an affair and killed her and her lover.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so Charlotte remains at the castle after her lover's ghost disappeared. Well, look, she was ghosted twice. Yeah, apparently her spooky ghost loves scaring tourists.
Dressed like Shrek.
Job in the afterlife. So then you have red ladies. So the color red is frequently considered to be dangerous.
Oh.
So Leap Castle has a red lady, which is in Ireland. And apparently this one is terrifying. Lots of people have seen her. She haunts the castle, but is most often in the original nursery, which is the Blue Room. She is tall and slim, has long brown hair, and always carries a blade. So, AKA a knife.
No shit. Of course she's scary.
So she was likely an uninvited guest of the O'Carrolls. She probably got pregnant and the O'Carrolls killed the child or killed her trying to flee. What a fucking story.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, and then we have our lovely brown lady of Raymond Hall. Obviously, we talked about her and who she may have been. I'm not quite sure why she's brown. I don't know. Did anybody actually really see what she was wearing, or did they just call her?
Yeah, I think so. And because the picture is black and white, so she just looks gray. But I think the whole thing was the photographer saw her coming down the stairs dressed all in black, brown. She's in this like brown robe thing. And that's when he took the picture. But remember, this is from the early 1900s? That picture. So it would have only ever been black and white.
Yeah.
So.
And then we have the Purple Lady of Rio Grande Depot, whatever. I can't even see. And this is in Utah. So the 1910 Utah Rio Grande Depot is a historic train depot. So yeah, it's depot. The Purple Lady, a purple ghost, has been seen many times. She was likely killed on the tracks. Her engagement ring apparently fell off her hand onto the tracks after an altercation with her fiance. The tearful woman climbed to retrieve her ring, and she just got smoked by a train. So, yeah. So this purple lady has appeared on the rails, platform, in the cafe, and bathrooms, and some say they have heard her singing and her footsteps. And then we have the Virginian Hotel Woman in Beige, because how can you tell the difference between beige, white, and brown? So, August Grimm built the 1911 Virginian Hotel. This hotel was too enormous and luxurious for its location. So, yeah, today it's just a huge haunted monument. So it does have the lady in beige. And this lady in beige, her ghost, apparently awaits her husband's return. What a surprise. Yep. Apparently, when he did not return, when she was living, she was so upset she hurled herself out of a third-floor window and died.
Because she was wearing beige.
Yeah,
she's like, my life sucks. Beige.
And last but not least, we have pink ladies, and not the ones from Greece.
I was going to say, tell me more, tell me more.
That's great. So apparently there is a pink lady that haunts Stirling Castle. She may have survived Edward the First, 1304. So we're going back to the 1300s here, people. The 1304 castle siege. Every time she leaves the castle, she walks to the chapel and just poof, disappears. And then we have one, the Grove Park Inn Hotel in North Carolina also has a pink lady. For 100 years, she has been exuding kindness, and that guests have seen and felt. I know, she's a nice one. It is said that she is the ghost of a from the 1920s, and she is usually associated with the 5th floor balcony. And of course, what happened on the 5th floor balcony? A lady that fell off of it.
Of course.
Probably had some man not show up again, because back then we just like to hurl ourselves off of things.
Absolutely.
Oh, whatever.
He's not coming back.
No one's ever gonna like me again. I'm an old man. Fuck it. Anyways, next we have orbs. Yes, they put orbs.
Wait. I need to ask a question about, first of all, why is it always women are like in big elaborate dresses? Why are there not like any pajama pants and oversized t-shirt ghosts? Are like naked ghosts. People who slip in the baths and stuff. So when we cross over, they like, here's your choice of pink dress, beige dress, blue dress, white dress, gray dress. That's it. Not in today's society. Not in today's society. It's not going to fly.
No, you can give me pants.
Well, then they will be military garb or like early 1900s top and tails, because that's your only choice as a man.
Yeah, fuck.
That's it. You either got on the big poofy dress or you're in some sort of military uniform. Oh, that's it. Those are your choices as a ghost people.
We're so screwed. Yeah. We're going to be coming back in bell bottoms and crop tops. Great.
Imagine, oh my God, with scrunchies.
All you see is just this midriff floating.
It'd be great. Or remember those remember those shirts that came like the size of a dime, and then you could unfold them all, but they were that weird material? Yes. You remember them for like the 2 weeks they were popular? Blah.
What about the whole wearing low-cut jeans with your thong up like you're wearing fucking overalls?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine doing that? You're going ghost hunting, you're in a dark abandoned building, and you look over and there's just some ass with some like fucking
the whale tail in the back. You'd be like, and
with the tramp stamp.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do they have a tramp stamp? Great. They'd be like, oh my God, are you seriously her looking at me? Loser. That would be how they talk. And that would be the end of ghost hunting. Because they'd be like, yeah, too many people from the early 2000s. are back
Fuck.
with their little butterfly clips in their hair.
The little
Weird.
puka shells.
Yes. And all of the poltergeist noises will be like where people are snapping their phones closed because that was all we did at the time. You'd be like, that would be it.
Why do I hear an early 2000s iPhone? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that a Nokia? Like,
Yeah.
oh my god. So let's talk about balls now. Anyways, ghost orbs.
Oh dear, you said the B word, and now our phones are going to go crazy.
Yeah, well, you talked about Silence of the Lambs on the weekend, and look what happened.
That's so true.
Anyways,
Bloody
ghost orbs. One of the most
Mhm.
controversial, whatever you want to believe in, topics of the paranormal. Some believe they're real, some don't. Some kind of have mixed reviews.
Mhm.
We've caught a few that we can't explain, so. But yeah, again, orbs. Yeah. The most popular definition is a light globe or ball.
Yeah,
So,
that sums it up.
yeah.
For the record, people, orbs don't have eyes and wings and legs, and does not fly. Yeah, exactly. So next time you're like, I got one,
So
and
here,
it's
listen.
looking back at you. No.
This article describes an authentic orb is
Oh.
solid from the center without light interference spokes. They emit small amounts of light. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some think orbs are native spirits, while others think they are just spirits. And they also come in a variety of colors.
Oh, Jesus. All
So you
right.
have white or silver orbs. Are normally good. However, they may indicate a spirit or energy trapped in an undesired realm. I want to know who came up with this. Like, I really seriously, like, it's just like.
How are you photographing it if it's in another realm?
I don't know. Magic? I don't fucking know. I don't have those answers. I hunt dead people. I don't.
How far are
I'm an
these
orb
people going
hunter.
ghost hunting?
I a ghost hunter, not an orb hunter.
Hmm.
If I want to look at colored balls, I'm just gonna get the cat balls and I'm like, give
I
it a shot.
wondered where you were going to go with that sentence. I'm like, oh, all right. She wants to look at colored balls.
And now the next is warm red, or orange, and these are considered to be protective spirits. A mother, a teacher, or a nurse may have red orbs for protection or care. I don't think, sure. Then we have black orbs. Brown. We'll say black brown.
Uh-huh.
So dark colored orbs indicate negative or heavy spirits, not angry ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And then we have green orbs, which evoke the body, spirits, and earth because of their natural connection. Non-earthly beings like infants may be indicated.
Ooh.
This is ridiculous. And then you have blue orbs, which is a pleasant healing response that symbolizes a tranquil spirit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That's all
think the
we're gonna do.
one that Allison captured in the Milburn house is a
Mm-hmm.
really great orb.
It is, and it's white, and it's not see-through.
No, it's like, it's very interesting, and it is perfectly round.
Mm-hmm. It's great. We've got a few of those, which is really surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few from Ghost Road too. It's really interesting to see.
Even that one from where we just were Lind, it's very very faint, but it is perfectly round as it comes towards the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah, we really need to post that to get what people really think.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm pretty sure some people are gonna be like, it's that person.
We'll see.
Next on this list, as we're getting to the end, is demonic entities.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. So we all know what demons are. Children. No, joking.
Exactly.
Those are semen demons.
Semen demons. Oh my God. That's great.
I love my child. Anyways, so demons never had human-like lives. Pretty much that's it. They therefore had never had mortal bodies, and they're otherworldly creatures. And they can physically and mentally abuse people, break into homes, and cling to objects. They can assume any shape. They are most frequently seen as dark masses standing indoors, as opposed to outdoors. Whatever it's
Okay.
where the fuck it wants. And apparently they're capable of murdering you, so don't ever challenge one.
Shit. All right. Good to know.
So apparently there are, it says 3 descriptions provided, and it actually gives you 4. Somebody couldn't fucking count. Anyways, it was a demon. They are described as they can be angelic, which is a lovely being that coerces others into immortal or strange actions. Horrible and evil. They can smoke, darkness, fog, and a black mist. And yeah, horrible and evil was the 4th one because they had to repeat it twice. You didn't get it the first time.
We'll just restate that.
Yeah. So they apparently don't disguise the fact that they are more powerful than human spirits. I don't know. Never had to deal with a demon.
If it comes breaking into your home, I'm sure you'd be like, this doesn't seem like a normal spirit. So yeah.
Why are they breaking in when they just like go right through the fucking door? Like, why are they breaking in? I don't know.
I think just to be dicks. Just to be dicks. He could be like, I would have floated through this wall, but fuck you. Smashes your window. Go through insurance, bitch. That's why.
I'm gonna make your insurance costs go up. Pay your
exactly.
Like, oh my god. Okay, so last on this list, and this one I found actually really cool because I'm going to show you something too. I'm going to share a screen in a few seconds, but we have funnel ghosts.
Ooh.
So a funnel ghost or vortex is commonly connected to a cold area and is most commonly seen in residents and or historic buildings. The majority of paranormal specialists, I guess we're specialists now, think they are loved ones coming for a visit or possibly a former occupant of the house, and they typically take the form of a whirling funnel. They are frequently captured in pictures or videos, appearing as a wisp of light or a swirling spiral of light. Now here, where's my fucking share page? Where is it here? How the fuck did I get it the last time?
Don't ask me. I'm
I can't remember.
Away from my thing.
What is this? Raise my hand. Okay. I need to wear my glasses, man. Present now. We are going to
do absolutely nothing.
Entire screen. Window.
No, better be worth it.
The joys of doing
talking.
What?
Who was that was just talking? Oh, maybe it's me and it's delayed. No, it sounded like a man was like, bah, bah, bah.
No.
Okay, weird.
All right, perfect. I'm going to show you a picture. Share.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Do you see it?
Oh, yes.
That's little Rachel standing in the background.
Oh.
So that was taken at my grandparents' house. I'm between the ages of 10 and 12, I would say at the time.
Wow.
Everybody, so there's 4 grandkids. So there's me and my brother and then my 2 male cousins. And this was obviously Christmas because you could see Santa in the background. And Or maybe it
Maybe
wasn't.
that is Santa.
I don't know. I can't remember. It was a family holiday, and they asked everyone, they wanted to get individual pictures of us standing there. And, this is my picture. It's a funnel ghost.
Wow.
Cool, eh?
That's true. I've never heard of a funnel ghost, but that's
Neither
really
did
cool.
I've had this picture forever. I've got another picture I'll show you that's really fucked up. But so yeah, yeah. I don't know. So I stopped.
Very cool indeed.
So yeah, so definitely, yeah. I've had that for a while. They could never figure out what it was. And then when I read about the funnel ghost, I was like, holy shit. And I had to share it.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
I'll post it online for everyone to take a look at too. And you can see baby Rachel in the background. Well, not baby Rachel, just little girl, preteen Rachel.
Pre-demonic Rachel.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so, and like I said, my grandparents' house was said to be haunted. So, like I said, I have another picture from there. I'll post. Well,
and they obviously don't live there.
not anymore. Not anymore. When my grandfather passed away, my grandma sold the house, and it was
Where
in
was it?
Curtis. It was Curtis.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should just go there one day and be like, "Hi, I used to live here. Can I come in and do a ghost hunt?"
Do you have
People will be
problems?
open now.
We'll just drop
Yeah.
business cards. We'll just drop business cards off in the neighborhood.
Have you seen this swirly looking funnel mist thing?
Party
If
in the
so,
basement
give
lately?
us a call. Yeah. Have you seen disembodied feet walking past the windows? Yeah.
Oh my god.
You
Yeah, we should
never know.
totally just drop business cards or brochures off in areas like where Whitby Psych used to be.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, so that's defining ghosts.
Yes,
Most
kind of.
fudged up way.
And I don't know that we'll ever really know.
No.
I think you definitely know when you're talking with one, usually because they interact really well and are
Mhm.
really sassy. It's quite funny. I love it when they get sassy versus just ones where you're like, I may as well just beat my head against the wall because this thing's not interacting.
Yeah.
And that's because it's residual. Oh, pay me in wine. Oh God.
Oh my lord.
Hmm.
Well, we're gonna see what kind of ghosts we can define on Friday.
We should
So,
play like a bingo. Who gets how many?
oh my god, we should totally do that.
Hmm.
That could be like, oh, we could do that at Settlers Village. We could be like ghost hunting bingo.
Yeah, that would be
Guy
good.
shows
Although
up
I
in
don't,
barn in loft. SLS camera maps dude in loft at barn.
we
Gene asks
should.
for a teddy bear.
Yeah,
Bob
exactly.
closes the door at the Ray house. Yeah.
Nothing happens at the Dugan house. Bingo. Actually,
Oh.
sometimes that place gets really crazy, and then you're like, "What the hell just happened in here?"
Mhm.
It's the
Totally.
Junkin
We
that's usually
totally should
quiet.
do it. And then we should like do a prize at the end.
Hmm.
We can combine all of them from the whole summer and like do a draw.
That's hilarious. And the draw can be more tickets to go back to Sally's Village.
Tickets to go to Langs. I don't know.
Yeah,
Shit, that's a good idea. Nobody
it
steal
is.
it. Mine. Well, ours, but
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. We get this, we just gotta hate. Deal all out. Not a competition.
I was just gonna say it's not a competition. Oh my god. Ah, yeah, done. I'm keeping that in. Whatever. I don't care. I got a lot to say if you really want me to say it. We'll do a whole other video on that too.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. That'll be fun. But anyways, if you have your own definition of what a ghost or a spirit or whatever paranormal entity you've come in contact with or have kind of put together over the years, we'd love to hear it. We really would. Knowledge is power.
If you have seen a ghost in anything other than a black, blue, green, white, orange, purple dress, please let us know.
Exactly. Because we are very interested. But yeah, so if you have any stories you want to share, comments, questions, whatever, you can email us at paranormalpodcast@gmail.com. That's PAREHNORMAL podcast@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And I think that's all we've got right now.
Yeah. And things that haven't been invented yet.
Yeah. And we don't really go on X because, no, it's pointless.
What is X?
Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Twitter? You mean porn? Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but that's it for this week. I have no idea what next week's topic is because I can't remember.
It's Google.
Oh, yeah.
I looked it up.
Another great place. So that shall be fun to talk about. Anyways, it's nice out. And it's dinner time.
Finally.
I know.
I miss the sunshine because I worked all day.
So did I.
Yeah.
At least you have a window to the outside if you really wanted to look out your window.
But it's frosted. So I just know if it's sort of light.
At least you have a window. You know what I see? A roof.
Nice.
And then I have to actually go out of my office and around the corner to actually see the roof. My office has no window. The only window it has is a window that I can look at the store from the inside. It's great. I love that.
Oh, gosh.
Anyways, guys, have a great week. And we will see you next time when we talk about more dead people and ghosts.
And maybe have exciting things to talk about at our favorite place. One of our favorite places.
We will. We always will.
For sure.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.